Good afternoon and welcome to Teleislas News with the most relevant and important information of the day. In the city of Cartagena, a minor who is allegedly responsible for the murder of another young man in the New Guinea sector on May 10th of this year was apprehended.
In the last hours, the police authorities of the city of Cartagena confirmed the apprehension of the alleged perpetrator of the homicide that occurred in the New Guinea sector on May 10th. The defendant was charged with the crime of homicide in concurrence with the manufacture, trafficking, or carrying of firearms and personal injury established in Articles 103, 365, and 112 of the Criminal Code. The adolescent was placed in the preventive detention for a term of 4 months. It should be recalled that on May 10th, it was reported by police authorities that a minor has died after being shot with a firearm. The patient was admitted to the hospital. After being attended by the doctors on duty, he died due to the seriousness of his injuries. Following the event, the National Police deployed all investigative and control activities with the support of the CTI to find the perpetrators of this criminal act. Urgent actions were undertaken by the CTI. On that occasion, the police institution recommended the identified perpetrator come to the police headquarters or station so that he could answer for the criminal act.
After the presidential elections are held on Sunday, we make an assessment of the voting behavior in our islands.
The candidate from the left, Gustavo Petro, was the most voted in the first round of the Colombian presidential elections, with 40% of the votes, followed by Rodolfo Hernandez with 28%. The two will compete for the presidency in the second round, to be held on June 19th. But how was the voting behavior on our island? According to the information of the registrar's office in our archipelago, there was a total of 132 tables authorized for the presidential elections on Sunday, May 29th. These were distributed in a total of 8 voting posts, and the potential voters of our island were 51,584, of which 26,724 were women and 25,860 were men. However, only 14,974 people went to the polls, that is 29.2% of the total number of eligible voters. The division of votes was as follows: Gustavo Petro, 5,996 votes; Federico Gutierrez, 4,544 votes; Rodolfo Hernandez, 2,660 votes; Sergio Fajardo, 576, John Milton Rodriguez, 521, Enrique Gomez, 20, Luis Perez, 80, Ingrid Betancourt, 30. The number of blank votes was 526, null votes 81, and unmarked votes 19. In general, the election day took place without major setbacks. The departmental government established a dry law and curfew at certain times to ensure order on the island. However, on the election day, there was an incident in the barrack sector where apparently there was an exchange of gunfire. However, the authorities did not provide information on the matter.
And during this holiday weekend, the first hurricane of the season consolidated in the Caribbean and was called Agata. We will share with you this will generate any impact on our islands.
After reaching hurricane level on Sunday, Agata quickly gained strength and made landfall on Monday afternoon with Category 2 force, as reported by the U.S. National Hurricane Center. The eye of the storm moved across the Caribbean and headed toward the Central American country of Mexico. Earlier Monday, the National Hurricane Center reported that Agata had maximum speed sustained winds of 175 kilometers per hour, just 1.56 kilometers below Category 3. Its vertex was located about 110 kilometers southwest of Mexico and was moving northeast at 9 kilometers per hour. However, it is worth mentioning that this hurricane today degraded again as a tropical storm and will not affect our archipelago. It is important to remain alert since tomorrow, June 1st, the hurricane season formally begins in the Atlantic, and according to all forecasts, the number of hurricanes will be above average. In addition, the National Hurricane Center forecast for a 5-day period indicated that there are 60% probabilities that an hurricane storm will be developed in the Gulf of Mexico, which will be called Alex according to the list prepared for 2022 by International Meteorological Organization.
And in the city of Cartagena, a man was allegedly responsible for the murder of another young man in the New Guinea sector of May 10. He was be apprehended. And we continue with other local news.
The Department of Public Services, in order to mitigate the poor disposal of special waste in different parts of the island, has implemented a waste collection schedule trying to cover the entire island and informing the community in time to comply with the schedule in order to keep the roads free of waste that generate not only visual pollution but also environmental pollution. For the departmental government, it is important to continue with the collection of special solid waste in the different sectors of the island. The schedule for this week is as follows. For today, May 31st, the route will cover the downtown area, which includes Newball Avenue, Airport, Januel, Government Area, Almendros, and Obrero neighborhood. For Thursday, June 2, the airport route will be from Red Ground, Sierra, Cabañas, Round the Rock, and Campo Hermoso. The Department of Public Services carries out these work days constantly to collect all these special waste so that they can be removed from the department as soon as possible. This week's route can also be consulted on the official web pages of the departmental government.
The Secretariat of ICT seeks to link tourism providers to digital channels and tools for their sales, thus generating greater income in the movement of their products through the site digital sales program. The idea is to make the approach with different groups of the commerce in which stand out cangueras, fair tables, and craftsmen. However, the Secretariat has announced that the doors will be open to those who wish to be linked. The idea is that participants are trained to use the platform as an online store, and in this way they will be able to increase their sales and promote their businesses to a larger number of potential customers using information and communication technologies as the main tools. And with great fanfare, the Christian Mission Solid Rock Church celebrated for the 5th time what they have called the Caribbean Day. It's a day dedicated to exalt the culture and empower the island customs that surround us. This is how the celebration was lived during yesterday.
The rain was not an impediment for the Christian Mission Solid Rock Church to commemorate yesterday morning the Caribbean Day. And what a celebration it was! The celebration began in the morning with a march that started from the Pepper Hill Road to the church facilities. This mobilization captured the attention of the community as each of its participants wore attire representing the Afro culture.
The objective of this activity really is to keep our culture alive. You know, keep our culture alive, pass down to our people, our real heritage. You know, we want our children to know where we're coming from, where we are right now, and where we are going. So this is part of the culture we want to show to our people then.
At the end of the march, those present enjoyed a morning and afternoon full of Raisal spirit, traditional music with artists of the house, dances organized by Raisals, and dance by new generations who are responsible for not losing the Raisal culture. Each participant enjoyed local and typical gastronomy of the islands and juices with local fruits, of which we can highlight the sorrel and young mango. The activity included an exhibition of games that are not currently practiced but continue to be part of the culture of the islands. It should be noted that this is an activity that for this religious group is extremely important and necessary, and that without fail every year is done with and for the community. This year was no exception, and it was a total success.
Every year we try to do this activity. Every year we do it, and I want to result something. This is the church herself doing this. This is not anything by the government. We have no sponsoring from no area. We have some entities that comes in and give us a little hand, but this is directly from the Christian Mission Church, the Solid Rock. Every year we try to do Caribbean Day. Let's go back the granny backyard.
Desde noviembre del 2020 implementamos la afiliación digital. Más de 32,000 colombianos dieron el primer paso para cumplir el sueño de tener vivienda propia.
At this time, we present the indicators of the COVID-19 situation in the department.
The National Institute of Health, in its weekly report, registered 0 new cases of coronavirus for the archipelago during the past week. According to the last report of the departmental government, there are no active cases in the entire archipelago. The local government indicates that so far in the pandemic, 10,002 people have been recovered, as well as a total of 155 deaths have been reported so far in the health emergency. COVID intensive care unit occupancy recorded 0% occupancy.
Now it's time for sport news with Victor Fusalva.
Hello, here are the best sports of the islands. Baseball is hot. San Luis and the Rays are fighting for a slot to the semifinals of the baseball in the department. The semifinal of the Under-22 tournament of the Departmental Baseball League began. The semifinal is between the Rays, coached by Hollis Watson, and the San Luis team, coached by David May, who are looking to advance to the final to face off against Centro team. The league president, Antonio de Armas, told us more details.
Right now we are playing the pre-playoff between San Luis and Rays. The winner of this part of the tournament will be who win 2 out of 3. And to play against Centro, who's in first in the standing, to play 2 out of 3. And after this tournament, we'll play a tournament organized by the Federation, which is named Torneo de Verano, which is a mixed tournament that the team have rights to participate. Each team have rights to integrate to their roster 3 professional players. The age of these players have to be from 23 years down. This is a way to give development of the young players of the country.
The Centro team is already qualified for the finals. Awaits for the winner between the Rays and the San Luis. According to the Armas, the next tournament will be in the Under-23 category, a tournament that will seek to give more dynamism to the country baseball players. And on the other hand, roller skating is getting ready to represent our island in a national tournament. The skating team Arrow Skaters trains with the help of coach Liliana Consuegra in order to represent San Andres in the next national skating tournament, which will be held in El Peñol, Antioquia. Liliana Consuegra told us in more detail.
Finalizando junio.
At the end of June, we will be in El Peñol, Antioquia for the National Skating Championship. We will be participating with 55 athletes between boys and girls from 4 years old to 17 years old. We will ratify the position we earned in the previous tournament where we were second, but our objective is the first place. Last year we were third in that championship, and at the beginning of the year we were second, and now we are going to fight for first place. I know that God will be with us, and God willing, we will be bringing the trophy to the island. As San Andres, Providence, and Santa Catalina, we say that we are present at the National Skating Championship, and we will be competing for our islands.
And this is all in sports for the moment. I am Victor Fusalva, Teleislas News.
Thank you, Victor. And with sport news, we reach to the end of our broadcast. See you tonight at 8 p.m. with more of Teleislas News. Good afternoon.